You have great coverage. You got great schemes, but you need to get more pressure on the quarterback. Or you just need to be able to bring better pressure to help you stop the run. I'm going to talk to you about some overload pressures today out of a 30 front and out of a 40 front. Stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to X and O's and Joe's. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Thank you for joining me. Today is Monday, which means we've got a new episode for you. It also means that today is a defensive day because last week I gave you some offensive stuff. Shout out to everybody who really enjoyed the stuff on the whip route. Please make sure before you get started, like, subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment after you hear this. If you got anything to say, we want to hear from you. If there's anything that you want to see, we want to hear from you. So please leave that comment below, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. That just helps us to better be able to get this information out to you. Now, a lot of times what happens in pressure is you've got two types of teams. The one type of team is the team that has a defensive line so dominant that they can get pressure without actually having to bring extra players. Guess what? This wouldn't be X and O's to Joe's if we had those types of people. So what we need to do is we need to scheme up ways to get more pressure and keep that offense off balance. And one of the great ways to do it is to send overload pressure. But what are some of the overload pressures that we can kind of put together that traverses whatever type of defense we're in? And for me, I like that backside, weak side pressure where we bring a linebacker and another guy off the edge, and we play that game with the defensive lineman. So I call it weak shock, strong shock. In this particular case, weak shock, I'm going to show you how we do it. I'm going to show you how we do it out of a 33, out of a 34, and out of a 4-2 or a 4-3, 4-4, whichever you want to say, any type of 40 front defense. So right now I've got an even side 2x2 by the wide receivers. My running back is offset to the left, which means that defensively, my weak side is our left. Back is offset to the defensive right. That means that this is our weak side left. We want to bring pressure off the weak side. So we're going to call what I call weak shock. That is when we send this end all the way to the A gap. We bring him to the A gap, we send him to the A gap, and then we send blitzers off the B and the C. Now, one thing to consider is if you're doing this out of a 2x2 is this is a receiver out here. Do we want to make ourselves vulnerable by taking this guy away to blitz and now having someone try to get over to him, or do we want to bump that responsibility down? So if this was a 3x1, no biggie, right? So now we bring our strong shot. He comes A. He is backside A. He's here. This linebacker coming B. He's screaming off edge. Pretty nice, right? That's a weak shock. So now we've got 5 men coming. We're overloading this side. We're saying if one of those guys chooses wrong, they're dead. Now, what happens if there's 2x2 like we have right here? So now if there's 2x2, I don't want to send him off edge necessarily. I'm going to tell him to bump it. Bump, bump, bump. And so now all the responsibilities switch. So now instead of him going to this B gap, he's going to come down and run the game like he normally would in a 2-man. This guy is now going to hit B gap. He's going to replace here in the middle. So now it doesn't matter if we're manned up, right? Doesn't matter if we're manned up or man free. That guy might have the back or this guy might have the back. Doesn't matter if we're in zone. In our 3 over 3 deep. or cover 6. Doesn't matter what we're in, particularly there, we still have this backside taken care of. And that's how you run that weak shot out of a 33, either with your pony or with your stat backer if your pony's out here in coverage. Now, in a 34 defense, we got 2 high safeties. We still want to get that same type of weak side action. So again, we're going to go off of the back. So if the back is opposite, we'll say weak side, or we may call it to the field side as the strong side. And so the short side of the field might be the weak side. But regardless, right now we're looking at a 2x2, and we've already said 2x2, you don't necessarily want to bring this guy off edge, except we've got 2 defensive backs. I mean, 2 safeties, excuse me. And so now if this is the weak side and this, so if this is the strong side and this is the weak side, we'll have our strong safety over here. We'll have our free safety here. And now we could potentially pull him down and send this guy off edge. The inside game is still the same. He's coming here. He's hitting A. He's big sticking to the A. Linebacker to the B. He's off edge. So now we get our 4 guys for their 3 guys on this side. This guy can screw down and take this dude if we're going to run some type of man concept. He can screw down and be the hook to curl or curl to flat guy if we're going to run some type of 3 over 3 or cover 6 concept. Do the same thing. Obviously, if they were to go 3x1, we'd roll a guy down, he'd probably screw over to the top, and now boom, we're still rolling that side. We could even invert this to where the linebacker stays here, and now we bring the strong safety off edge. Just another way to give them a different look so that they don't necessarily know what we've got coming for them from that side with our weak shot. So that's how we can still get that same look out of a 34 defense. Nothing much has changed. Now, in a 4-3, we still got our cover 2 shell. We want to still look to bring that pressure from the backside, but look, now they've really evened up their front. So we're going to go off the field side. So let's say that this is the field side, so it would be our defensive left to the field side. We want to bring this pressure off edge. But now our defensive end is the edge guy. But we still want to get that same movement of the end going to the A gap. So we still bring it the same way. We take this one technique who will be lined up as a shade. He's going to cross the face of the center. The end is going to move late, big stick to the A gap. Now these 2 linebackers are going to shoot the B and the C gap. So he'll come and hit B gap. He'll come around C gap. This end, his normal B gap, this tackle, his normal B gap responsibility. This end is here. Now, if you notice, we've got a 6-man pressure now. 6-man pressure, no biggie. We know automatically we're locking up everywhere. Lock up, free safety will eye this back. Probably move late. He'll come here. He'll stem down. We'll get 6 guys going, but we get this same 4-for-3 action, right? The same 4-for-3 action, because now one of these guys, even if they keep the back in, this is 6-on-6. I like our opportunities in this blitz. Now, in a 4-2-5, or a 44, let's be real about it, same difference. But in a 4-2-5 or a 44, we're still going to designate the field. So let's say this side is the field side now. We have to make sure that we get our defensive linemen lined up correctly if we want a 3 and a 1, or if we want 2 2s. So let's do that. Let's give a 22 stack. So let's give 2 2s right here. If this is the field side, so our right side is the strength, we're going to bring one off the back. We're going to bring it off the back side again. We have to be thinking this way. We don't necessarily want to leave this guy for this dude to attack all the way over here. Now, what we could do is we can bring this guy over if we're going to bring that dude off. But let's just say we wanted to keep this guy as the free safety, the spy, the running back, just in case he wants to flare, he can attack. We know if we're bringing that overload pressure, we're bringing 6 men. So on the front side, we're still here. Now, this guy should be attacking that front side A because this guy and this guy are going to hit over there. So now, when we get that guy attack the front side A, we're going to get this guy, and he's got to be smart about it, right? There's no reason to big stick him all the way there with a guy there. It's just going to get clumped up. So he's just going to hit here. Now these two guys work off of the game with those tackles. So we still get our 4 guys to the weak side, everybody manning up. Free safety's got the back out of the backfield. If he flares, he's got him. If he stays in and block, he becomes a free guy. Now he wants to rob something in the slots or over the top of number 1. But this is the way we still get this 4 men on the weak side to be able to create that pressure. Now the key to it again, don't try to blitz your guys from here. You really want them to move late. Move late, move quick, boom, they hit it. Move late, move quick, he hits it. Or if he's going to wait, boom, boom, now he's delayed on his blitz and he comes. But especially on this outside edge, you don't want them waiting because you don't want these guys to be able to get up on top of them and then chip them, and now somebody's got an edge. Anybody that's coming off edge has to come off edge hard. They've got to be ready to get dirty into the work because there's a chance they may get trapped because it's hard to get hands on this way. So there's a chance they may get trapped. There's a chance they may get optioned off of. So they have to come off with reckless abandon, but they also have to have the intelligence to know, let me be under control. So I want to come strong, but I want to be under control. That reckless abandon, but with an intelligent mindset. Very similar to the way you used to see Palomalu play, the way you see Ray Lewis play, all of those greats who used that fire, that energy, but they still played with an intelligence to him. A little bit less than Troy Polamalu. He was a little bit reckless. But he made more plays than he missed. And at the end of the day, that's what you want from your guys. That's all the time we have for X and O's and Joes this week, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, if you like what we're doing, leave a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Let me know what you would change. I'm always trying to get more information because I'm always trying to give out information. There is nothing new in coaching. Everything has been stolen, has been transformed, has been maneuvered. So everything that I share with you is stuff that I've learned or I've seen somewhere else, and I've adapted it to my own philosophies. You do the same thing. Let's share philosophies. Let's make this a community where people feel safe, that they can bring things out and not have to worry about being ridiculed. Although, if you do have criticism for me, I'm okay with it. So even if you want to be critical, leave it down there in the comments. I'm okay with that. We'll figure it out together. There's no reason why I can't be wrong. But the one thing I will tell you is that I love on defense to be gap sound. So as long as I'm gap sound, I can make everything else work. Until next Monday, I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Y'all have a wonderful day.